Our Creator made me see him 8 times. To learn what I know will take your belief to a trust. My first video in the description lets males know they have a soul, can visit the abyss, and know there is afterlife is true. Now, we're going to be talking about Jesus teaching Buddhism, but Buddhism teaches people to become a god, and there is no one true God. So what kind of witnessing is this of Jesus that the editors have put into the text? It just makes no sense. When we talk about Jesus saying these words, I want to make sure that you understand that these verses are here, but they are absolutely against what our Creator taught in the Hebrew text. He is the only Creator, okay? And the title God given to our Creator in the Bibles today would mean He is the only one. So what are these verses here saying? Let's take a look at them. Now this is the first verse here, but I needed to add, this here is the first verse I have listed, but you need this verse here to explain what's going on. And because Jesus is speaking here, and he says, if you care to accept it, he himself is Elijah who was to come. Now here we have all the prophets and the law prophesied until John, okay? And then this is how the next verse is, and if you care to accept it, he himself is Elijah, meaning John is Elijah who was to come. So this is Jesus teaching reincarnation. So Jesus is against our Creator and against one of the 12 commandments. You shall have no other God before you. Now, what does the King James say about this? This is the this is the latest King James. And if you, let's see, if you will receive it, care to accept it, this is Elijah, which was for to come. Now, I don't know what the heck these words are, but boy, the New King James, they want to make sure that they got that in there, which was for to come. Elijah was to come. I don't know how, whatever they did here, it's just incredible how they could put text in there. So when you were reading, you most likely double read that and forget what the heck Jesus was talking about reincarnation. Maybe that's why they put that in there. But the object is it teaches reincarnation. Let's take a look at some of these other Bibles here. Now, all of them here in the yellow is pretty much saying the same thing, reincarnation. Now, they've done a few additions, the blue and the green. The green just pretty much says that they're adding John to make sure that you're hearing or understanding is John from the verse above. And I'm trying to go slow enough for you to do a screen capture if you wanted to do some of that and examine each one of these yourselves. This is Elijah, which is to come. Well, he was never prophesied to come again. So, by the way, he was the one that was taken up into heaven live. So then he didn't go into heaven. He went into our heaven, okay? But he ended up into the abyss. This is the next verse, Matthew 17. Now Elijah is coming and will restore all things. This is a question Jesus is being asked. Elijah is coming and will restore all things. How can Elijah restore all things? Okay, for the simple fact that they're waiting for Jesus. I mean, it was foretold Jesus is going to have a kingdom in heaven, and those that he allows into heaven by obeying our Creator, they will enter into heaven. So what does this mean, will restore all things? That verse just doesn't make any sense. But Jesus replies to him, says, Elijah already came, but they did to him whatever they wished. Now that was Jesus' tone on pretty much, that was John, okay? Now let's see what the King James says. Same thing. Elijah truly shall first come and restore all things. Now, Elijah wasn't to, John did not restore all things. John came to herald Jesus is here on earth. And then for those that wanted to be forgiven, because the priests were so corrupt, they were not allowed our Creator to forgive them, because he wasn't going to forgive the priests. So the thing here is John was preaching that his baptism was replacing the priest as being forgiven if they confessed their sin, and their sin is the 12 commandments. In my video, I got 12 commandments that goes over all this. So because our Creator defined what a sin offering was you needed to make a sin offering if you didn't obey those 12 commandments. But here, the King James Version is saying Elijah has already come, but they have done to him whatever they whatever they listed. Why are they putting in stupid words? Well, they're the atheists. I keep telling you, the wrong people are editing the Bibles today. This is all the text from these verses that I'm showing you are off of BibleHub.com. You can go search the verses and you can get them. The first one will be 11, and the next one here will be 12 to show how these are grouped together. But you can see that here all these words are the same. Jesus is teaching reincarnation. Now, it seems like they all like these words. Already has come, already has come. He has already come. Okay. Now we come to Mark 19, 11, or 12 and 13. This is Jesus. Now Jesus is saying that he will restore all things. And Elijah does come first. Elijah does come first means reincarnated John and restored all things. Now Jesus is saying that they restored all things, but that isn't really true. I just explained to you what John did, and it was by a command of our Creator that baptism was only for that time to replace the priest to ask for forgiveness. After that, Jesus is the only one that can forgive you. So you don't get to be baptized means anything what you're doing today. Those doing that and saying I baptized, that's just a bunch of bullshit. But the object is that here we have Elijah again is to come first, which meant what you're doing is talking about John. Elijah has indeed come, again confirming a reincarnation here. Now, okay, these are the verses out of the BibleHub.com. They were saying the same thing. Well, they use the word certainly here, where indeed he came. Now, Buddhism teaches reincarnation, okay, and also teaches there is no creator. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you their sex practice here. When they meditate, they have a certain sex practice, and it's called Kundalini, okay? You can search this word for yourself right here and do your own word search. But notice here we have goddess. Here we have a goddess, divine mother as a goddess. See, they don't believe in a creator. They believe in a divine goddess or a goddess, okay? I showed you how Malachi 2:11 talks about how Judah had this practice and married the daughter of a foreign god. This would have been a goddess, okay? Now, when they sit here in darkness, they have this experience of energy going up their backbone to their head, and you can see it flowers, or it comes to fullness. Now, up their spine here again, this would be up their spine. This is up their spine. But notice how they use, or they have these, the medical emblem, how it snakes up your backbone, and then you have wings. Over here, this one is very interesting for the simple fact that if you notice that there's this crescent moon right here in the symbol, it's like a shadow, but it's actually put there on purpose. This, to meditate and have this sex practice with this female goddess can happen every month, moon month that is. And in that moon month, there are 3 days that you can have this practice. But the object is that on the crescent moon day is the special one. And in fact, once a year, it becomes really special because a male's penis retracts inside his body. So now you know there's a little secret there, their sex practice. Now, let's see, this here, this is just wrong. That's wrong. But the object is, you can see that they're becoming a god when they do this. Showing you, let me see if I got, showing you pictures of being between the earth and the sky, okay? Type of meaning. We'll see if I can find that other places. You can see that it just means they're special here, but the object here is this, you first need to have, let's see, let's change. You have to have this sex practice. See, the energy starts down here with the sex practice. Okay. Let me see if I need to go over any of these other pictures here. But you can see most of these images, they're being tied to, this one's being tied to celestial objects. This, you see nothing earthly, but in a space their own. Here, they're sitting in darkness. Their proof, okay, here's, they become like a god. And I explained that how the Tao, or the Tibetan monks, how they have that energy and they pop it out through the top of their head, and they become like what they thought was a star in the second heaven, where the stars make a motion, their motion creates Mount Zion, our Creator's mountain. But you can see that it's given them like this special power of knowledge here. Look at all this guy, he's got all kinds of extra symbols of all his extra learning knowledge. And oh yes, you have this practice, you can really change the world. Well, let's see. In India, how many people are starving and are poor? How many have illnesses? I mean, they are transform ourselves and the world. You can't, there is so much corruption in these countries where this practice is at, that it's not funny. Yeah, I guess, okay, this one's on earth, but it's really, like I says, transitioning to become a god, okay? And Jesus would not teach that. Let me go, where is it? Oops, I've done that after I did that, okay. Now, what I want to do is go over some of the words to see what the text says. This is the verse, and we're going to start with, let's start with Matthew 11:14. And when I click on a word over here, it appears over here. It's the Hebrew, or it's Strong's Concordance, and these are Greek words in English lettering. But down here is what is very important, because in the between the brackets shows us that the word if was used 345 times, like it is here, used here. But all these other words were also used, and if they needed this English word in that verse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly figure out if any of these words actually kind of lead to reincarnation. And if you care to accept it, let's look over all these over here. Let's take a look at these here, words here. No. Care to receive or accept. No. That he himself is Elijah. I'm just looking to see if there's anything here that would mean, like this word here would have to be a special word, coming expected. Okay. They did use the word expected once here. In fact, they used it 3 times. So, who was expected? See, they could have used the word who expected here. But the object is Elijah is coming and will restore all things. Do we see? No, we just have the word expected again. I don't know if you guys really need to go over all these things, but here, restore all things. Okay, now this is unique. When you have 2 of the same words, they can make it 2 different words, as you see, all things. Let me see down here, or up here, where is it? All. See how they did all things? 133 times they did this. They could have used restore, just used one word, restored. No, I guess not. Anyways, you can see that here they have the word again used the same here. Already come. Okay, already pretty much means what it says. Yes. But the object here is that is the text. I was trying to find out if it could be brought up from the Hebrew text or the Greek text to show this reincarnation. The best word was expected, and they didn't use it. Okay, now comes the part karma, where Jesus is teaching that this here story comes from there was a pool of water by Jerusalem that was said that when the water moved, that if you were the first one to step in, you were healed. And what Jesus did, because the guy did not, when he was asked who told you to pick up, he couldn't recognize Jesus, didn't tell him, couldn't define or tell him what Jesus looked like. So later, Jesus runs into him, but the text says in the temple. Now, this is just false. A temple is a place where pagans put a false idol. Now, in the house for meeting with our Creator, he was in there. There's no idol there. So the word temple is wrong. There's only a few people that are enter into the house for meeting with our Creator. But the object is that there's a lot more wrong with this verse than just me pointing out karma here. Do not sin anymore, so that nothing worse may befall you. Do not sin. This is Jesus referring to him as his illness was caused by sin. A sin is the 12 commandments. Our Creator said, if you do not obey them, you are to bring me a sin offering. So the first time you understand what a sin is a sin offering of not obeying the 12 commandments. I go over all that in that video of 12 commandments. But here Jesus is saying that sins were your cause. So if you stop sinning, nothing worse will befall you. Now, it's kind of funny that they use the word may befall you for the simple fact that Jesus isn't sure of himself whether it will befall you or not, okay? So the thing here is this verse is so screwed up, it's not funny, but the object is that Jesus in this one is teaching that sin, if you stop sinning, nothing will befall you. Nothing worse will befall you. Okay, how does the King James say this? Sin no more, lest a worse thing come to you. Again, teaching karma. Now, how do the other Bibles treat it? Okay, they like the word may as well. They aren't sure. They got Jesus not sure. These others are saying that, yes, something worse will happen. You can get these verses off of BibleHub.com, but you can see all of them have this text of karma in them. Now, here's where Jesus is teaching that Buddhism, by claiming, let's see here, this is a Jew who's asking him, Jesus, we're going to stone you for blasphemy, but for blasphemy, because you are being a male, not a man, male, make yourself out to be God. Now, Jesus wasn't making himself out to be God, okay? They're making a false statement here, but the object is in here, we have Jesus replying to him, has it not been written in your law? Meaning, well, this is kind of hard because what it is these words here are, when they're all capital like this is referring to our Creator saying something, okay? Has it not been written in your law, our Creator saying this, okay? And this is our Creator saying, you are gods. Now, why would our Creator, who said, I will make man in my image, that doesn't mean that they're gods or we're gods at all. But the text is saying, got Jesus saying, our Creator said, you will become gods. Now, the title God has only got an S on it, that you're to be exactly creating being like our Creator. This is just not true, but this is the text saying, Jesus is saying this is what was said. It's not true. Here, if he called them gods, now this here is our Creator in the word he, it should be all capital letters, them gods. Now, this means that if they're all gods, there is no one God. See, that's the thing about Jesus here teaching Buddhism. if you're gods, then there is no one true God, okay? To whom the word of God came. Don't want to really get into that too much, but the object is Jesus' teaching, our creator calling them gods, and that's just not true. Our creator is the creator. The title God means he can do whatever he wants to do, but it doesn't mean that there's more than one of them. It means he was the it's hard to find the meaning in the Hebrew text what the word God means, okay? I know it's there many times, but that's example. Let me bring that up. No. Where is this at? Okay. Here is the word Elohim or Elohim, and see how the word God is used this many times right here. I mean, whoops. Boy, I got this messed up here. Let's get to red. Then let's see the word God's here. Now let's take a look at okay, I have Elohim here, but El here. Oh, it too. Whoops. God. Okay. Nope, Most High. And yet here is our Creator's name in 4 Hebrew letters changed into English. There are 6,825 times, and yet they changed it into 2 titles, Lord and God. And they use the word God here 315 times. See down here, and the word Lord here. So the text confuses you by having maybe 3 or 4 words, Elohim and El, and I know there's another one that they refer to and they put into one word as God. They're distorting these because actually Elohim, I believe, if you looked at Genesis 1 and seen how many times Elohim is used, if you replace the word God with the word creator, our creator is creating everything. Our creator created this, our creator made this, our creator made that. Or that is a more true definition of the word Elohim than it is what they've got here. Let me go back to that. Here, where they've got Elohim over here just used like this, where they did use it for God, but notice that they actually used it for goddess twice. Okay, so and a judge, and the word mighty, and rulers, and shrine. This is the sad truth about the text in the Bible, and it is shown in the New American Standard Concordance only, how they change the word to make it what they want in the verse. So, but the truth is that the title God is not able to be actually found in the Hebrew text to say, describe it like they would in the secular Bible or in the secular dictionary. So it's hard to me to say which word is truly defined as the word God, and then find a verse to say these are the verses that definitely say the title God is meant to be used in this verse. But overall, you now got the idea that Jesus here is teaching a reincarnation, karma, and you are gods, which is completely Buddhism and against our Creator. Do you think these words were put in by the first writers or have been edited out? You have to come to understanding that the atheists are in control of the Bible text, and going way back to prove that in the manuscripts that we have of the Greek or the Hebrew, there's hundreds of errors that you can see that are in the text, and I will point them out. Example, how the secular uses the word man all the time when our Creator defines the word man as male and female. Our Creator defined what a day is, and that's from twilight, the night, and the daylight as one day, and yet the text will say something 40 days and 40 nights. Don't need the word nights if you're saying days. Hebrews understood this. It's the atheists that don't understand the correct words that are written in the Hebrew text. So pointing out many times, as I have already, about who is in control of the text, it's not the good guys. These verses here, Jesus teaches against our Creator. That is just not what you know as Jesus, or who Jesus is. Okay. I think I've done this enough to say that, is there anything else I wanted to go over? I guess if I brought this up, this is the King James, this is the preface to the King James in 1611. This is what the translators wrote to the beginning of the King James. And when I told you that they sit and meditate or have any experience, here it is, or have any experience, they are able to edit the text, okay? Well, this first part is talking about being able to revise the text for their having any experience that they are able to correct the text, then it's granted for them to know. And let's see, by the light and feeling we have attained unto ourselves. See, they didn't say their knowledge comes from our Creator, but what they have attained unto themselves. Now this is coming straight from the 1611 preface. The translators themselves are not happy with believing the first writer's writings about a Creator of everything and how he made everything, and I mean everything, because everything is his. Here they have but a great clerk, Gregory the Divine, Gregory, comma, the Divine, the title, they're giving him the title, a man, a clerk, the word divine with a capital D. Here, the first Roman emperor, now what did he do? He never did a more pleasing thing to the learned, okay, to the learned, those that attained unto themselves, a more profitable and prosperity for the conserving the record of times in a true supplication. What did he do? This emperor corrected the calendar in order for the year according to the course of the sun. Notice the sun has a capital S on it, a capital S on the word sun. That's because the Egyptians had a sun god named Ra. And what happens is the sun when it goes to the winter solstice, if you put a stake out and you wanted to watch the movement ever so slightly of the sun, where it's resting or where it's moving, it actually stays in the same place for 3 days. 3 days, okay? And yet in the video I put up lately, Jesus says he's going to be buried for 3 days. See, Jesus was never buried. Check that video out. He was never buried for 3 days. I'm sure some of you know that as well. But Jesus said he was going to be buried for 3 days. They got Jesus being a liar, but they tied it to the sun, okay? To the course of the sun. Now, what does that mean? Because it's awfully exciting to understand here that the words corrected the calendar. Meaning at that time when Jesus was around, I would say it was King Nebuchadnezzar that declared the whole empire to go at the summer solstice, which is our Creator's calendar. It starts at the summer solstice. Because of things that happened to Nebuchadnezzar. And if you read Daniel, you'll see that he recognizes a living creator, and Daniel's was Daniel's creator who he believed on. And when he sent those 3 men into the fire and they came out walking, didn't even have the smell of fire, the king definitely would have been setting the calendar for all of Babylon at that time. And you can see up until the Roman Empire, did the calendar change for the whole empire. Very unique to understand those words right there. But what I want to do is here, again, according to the singular wisdom given to him that he hath attained unto. Now, the word God here is not your word or your title God, because there is, what was the verses here? Because see, St. Augustine, he only heard a supernatural voice. He didn't hear our Creator. So when they're talking about God, it's a supernatural voice, but it's it's not what you're thinking of entitled as our Creator. But I just wanted to inform you that when I say that the atheists are controlling the text, you have to go through here and you have to read this very carefully to see why would they be happy to even write in that they changed the calendar, you know, and why, if you can attain on something unto yourself, that you can edit the text. Now there's what, 29, 39 Bibles out there, and none of them are being edited by the good guys. Okay, they're all edited by these guys here, and they're all happy. They're making money off you. So I will get on to the next video.